Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths Most Wanted, where today we're featuring the Deepwater Guard boss craft, the belly dancing bastard known as the Tarpon. Now, first off, this thing is potentially very dangerous because, well, it is the boss craft for the very first faction you fight if you're playing on the easier difficulty, or at least the easier spawning difficulty for the nicher campaign of From the Depths, which means that you are pretty likely to run into this thing when you absolutely are not ready for it in terms of what and how much materials you have to counter it. This thing is 500,000 materials plus of really irritating tankiness, evasion, and really big guns. But the good news is that it has a few obvious weaknesses you can take advantage of, so your campaign experience does not end too early. So in one word, lasers, and in one sentence, get above it or behind it or below it. So, let's go into a little bit more detail. So this thing is an absolute masterpiece, by the way. This is spawned on my team. So before we get started, I just want to point out that this thing is fully walkable. Who made this thing? Diesel. Diesel did a fantastic job. I seem to recall they actually contacted me way back in the day because I just by accident gave them some ideas to do with missile decoys on spin blocks that did not end up getting used because this thing would be like, you think it's bad now, imagine if the little decoys down here were on a spin block, which would make it like even harder to kill with missiles than it currently is. I'm getting ahead of myself. Basically, that didn't happen. I'm not trying to claim any credit. This is Diesel's masterwork, and probably other people as well. Apologies for not knowing their names off the top of my head. So yeah, what we have here, Mountain Dew, I guess, to fuel Minesweeper. And down here, we have all this. If this wasn't a campaign craft, this would totally qualify for Weird and Wonderful, because it's a wonderful craft. It's so pretty, and you can go all the way down into the interior of the thing, and you can just really get into it. But this is Most Wanted. We're interested in how to not die and fail horribly when this thing spawns in. So, strengths. Firstly, this thing is incredibly evasive, so if you spawn in, I don't know, the Stronghold, which is the Onyx Watch boss craft, the Tarpon doesn't always win this matchup, but it has a huge advantage because all the crams on the Stronghold do literally nothing. Also, this thing scrapes the water like wow. Also, lots of interceptors, lots of seawards. This thing is really hard to kill with missiles. And yeah, so you'll see the crams whistling by and doing absolutely diddly squat. And if we check here, we check here, we're already doing pretty significant damage to the Stronghold. Let's check the damage numbers. Yep, that's a lot of damage. And it's got a giant-ass gun on it, and this thing is very clever in a number of ways. First off, if you look inside, it is a turret on a turret, but it is arranged in such a way that it is like giant shells. Oh, jeez, I'm gonna make myself sick looking at this. It's got giant shells like arranged lengthways, which means that you can fit a massive double gun in a much more narrow space than you could otherwise. And that does move. It has a very limited range of movement, but it is enough so that it has more movement than it would have otherwise if it was just, you know, a 3x3 Omni-Mantlet. So that's clever. That is very, very clever. As for what that gun is firing, let's go over here. Let's just turn the UI on and get soothed by the soothing sound of the gunfire. It's not... This is about as nasty a penetrator as you can usually get with non-rail guns. So 497 millimeters, base bleeders, emergency ejection diffuse, lots of HE warheads, and almost 23,000 kinetic damage, over 7,000 explosive damage, and 16 fragments, 180 degrees, over 4,000 damage per fragment. This gun really, really hurts. It can put a dent on a lot of late game craft, and in fact this thing can beat probably most other craft in the Nito campaign. Like even godlies that show up like much later on the campaign, and things like the Grey Talons and the Steel Striders and whatnot, they have trouble fighting the Tarpon. So it's like, it's a real, like, well, maybe not a middle finger to the masochistic side of the player base, but it's definitely something like, alright, you want it hard, you want it tough? Right, this is the starting faction boss craft. Here you go, have fun. Alright, so you'll notice this thing is flinging itself from side to side. I'm not sure if there's breadboard in here, but please be aware of collision avoidance settings in the adjustments tab. And it has that. This is actually an important thing to remember. So it has crazy settings in here. I'm not sure how it keeps rolling around like that. I think it's just... maybe there's a breadboard in there? I don't know. I haven't checked. But suffice to say, it moves in a constant, like, looping figure 8, which means it's constantly moving in a curve, constantly adjusting its position, which means that I'm pretty sure that not a single cramshell has hit this thing. I might be wrong. But if that's not enough, it has not one, not two, but 3 sealers guns. You can see them 1, 2, 3 over there, and they go brrrt. That's timed flak. It also has cram cannons. I think these are pure HE. I might be wrong. Let's just check. Let's just checky check. This is cram settings. We can figure loadout. No, it's frag. It's pure frag. Oh, jeez, that's actually worse. How about this one? Hello? Hello? Let's see. Reconfigure loadout. Okay, so this is an HE hardware, an AP penetrator. Gotcha. I didn't even realize, actually, that this thing had 4 cram cannons on it. It means that, like, wow, like... this thing has a lot of firepower. Mostly APS. And... there's also... this thing is also kind of tough. Don't be fooled by the wooden exterior. If we go into the build mode tools, and let's see, block counter... order by name instead of by count. Let's go order by name. It's mostly metal, actually, so I believe there's also... where is the heavy armor? Did we fall into the ocean? I hope not. Heavy armor... beam. It has almost 200 heavy armor beams in here. Not sure where they are. Okay, stronghold, go away. You're noisy! Why did I do that? Alright, let's try that again. So you see that, particularly in the news... lots of beams. Where's the heavy armor at? Ah, here it is. This just small, essentially, block of it. Oh, there is a shield projector. Hello. I thought this thing actually didn't have them. I need to adjust my notes for a second. Don't mind me. I'm typing things. Ah, no, I typed the wrong thing. Okay. So, got a shield in the front here. Let's spawn in... oh, jeez, I don't know. Let's spawn in an Eerie, which is, also annoying. So there's a strength 10 shield in the front here. Let's just see... this, wow, this has a lot of shields. All in the front there, so it's not exactly, not 100%, what the hell am I saying? Alright, so, no, it's got shields, it's got pretty strong shields at that. And that's basically it. It's really evasive, it has a lot of firepower, it's missile-proof, and it's, like, really tough. So what are this thing's weaknesses? That is the question, isn't it? Well, for one, if you get above it, not only will there... hang on, let's just destroy vehicles. If you get above it, and this is where I can demonstrate something with a craft of my own, which I don't think I've shown off before, because it's sinful. Let's go here. This is the 7734, and if you get that reference, you get 1 cookie. Let's go here, Tarpon. Let's see if this works. It worked last time I tried it. So this is just... this is a flying canoe with an APS slung underneath it. So this thing tries to hover above the target. Are we gonna collide? Yep, alright, so... Oh, no. It didn't actually work. Alright, so sometimes when you get above the Tarpon, and this is a recent thing with changes to the collision avoidance in the game, it will try and avoid colliding with stuff, and then uh-oh. Don't get so close. Wow, you did so well off camera, but the moment the camera starts rolling, you can't do the thing I want you to do. This is typical. Alright, I'm gonna turn you on God mode so you can actually demonstrate the thing I spawned you in to do. Can you please? Can you please? Can you please? Just go. Please, just go. Do the thing. Follow your destiny, damn it. Hey, look there. Okay, so... Alright, if I can't manage to demonstrate this, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. Anyway, so... Not only can it not hit you as well when you get above it, sometimes it will actually try and avoid running into you so hard that it will put itself in the ocean, where she can still float, but she can't get out of the water again, so... Let's see, is she gonna do it? She did it! There we go. So that's a little exploit, which, most likely will be fixed now that I've shown it on camera. So now, unlike a lot of other craft in the Nita campaign, in which they're hydrophobic, if they touch water, they're basically dead. Looking at you, Grey Talons and Scarlet Dawn. But the Tarpon is basically now a boat that can't steer, which is hilariously fitting for the Deepwater Guard. And, well, she's no longer nearly as evasive, so you can kill her at your leisure. So that's a definite helpful exploit. She also does have a lot of wood in her construction. She'd like, let's go here, construction, whoops, block counter, order by. So yeah, she still is like, she's got a lot of wood on her, so she does lose health fairly quickly. It's mostly superficial though, because it's just a blade of armor, it falls off. And you might have noticed, if my craft wasn't acting like a complete idiot, I might need to tweak the AI on her a little bit. I swear she doesn't normally get hit so easily by the Tarpon. Performance anxiety. Since she doesn't have any hit scan weapons, she does have very fast shells with her Sea-Whiz and her secondaries and her main gun. It moves at muzzle velocity of over 1,000 meters per second. No hit scan weapons means that, ironically, she's not super good at dealing with evasive craft herself. So she basically can take it, but she can't dish it when it comes to super evasive stuff. And a mirror match between two Tarpons would be hilarious. I'm not going to do that because we will be here forever waiting for a victor. She also, and this is important right back at the beginning, you remember I said lasers? Yeah, lasers. She has strong shields, but the fact that she has no smoke means that, particularly if you combine that with, like, EMP particle cannons, you can fry her fairly straightforwardly. So this is kind of, almost a preview of how to deal with, super evasive frontsiders later, in the Nitra campaign. Because you basically need to use, well, sci-fi stuff in order to deal with them. So yeah, how do you survive this thing? Well, as, our fighter over there almost demonstrated, you can dodge the main weapons of the Tarpon, or, get underneath, above it, or behind it. Armor does do the trick. I have one of my battleships, the Tungsten Slung, can tank the Tarpon shots, but also, the Tungsten Slung, I'm just gonna... I won't spawn it in, because that'll be a problem. I'm just going to show you where it is. That's not where I put it. I put it over here. This thing is 1.6 million materials. It's more than 3 times the cost of the Tarpon. And, yeah, like, trying to just tank a firepower-heavy frontsider like this is not a very good idea, so evade it. And, sufficiently strong lambs can deal with the main shells there, but really, you want to outmaneuver this thing. Beat it at its own game, so to speak. And how to kill, well, here's one demonstration of how to kill it, is just make it freak out and take a bath. Put itself in the bathtub, so to speak. The salty bathtub that is the sea. Laser the hell out of it, so I'm just going to destroy everything here, and I'm going to... what's a fun laser thing? that I can spawn in. Let's go here. Spawn in the Tarpon, and I'm gonna spawn in not one, not two, three little laser fighters that I made ages ago. So what do we got here? We got the Sky Shrimp. So this is a laser fighter I made in a Let's Build a long time ago, and they're fairly cheap. They're less than 40,000 materials, and they can almost solo the Tarpon, but they don't quite manage it. So you see the laser counter is just ticking up. And as is typical for front-siders, she doesn't do well with being, like, flanked. So what we got here is 3 reasonably cheap little laser fighters that are just going to, like, poke holes in her. And particularly, once they get behind her, they are going to snipe her in her vulnerable bits. Because I think she's got AI components back there which are not very well armored. Which is like 100% on purpose for rule of cool, and also so this thing isn't completely unstoppable. So, and also plasma cannons work well. So you can see here, looking here, Tarpon's dropped by 1% health. None of the Sky Shrimps have been hit. Let's hop on one so you can see how this works. I think I put this thing on the workshop too. Ah, good. There we go. Whoa! Alrighty, so here we are. We're just flying around, doing a fight. Laser jet fighters actually are a really good idea because all you need on them is like, well, jet engines with generators, and you can power a laser, and you can power decoys, and it's all really good, and it's great, and it's actually cheaper than an equivalent sized missile thing. Wow, the Tarpon is getting bullied. So, yeah, in a word, laser jet fighters that can get behind it. And she's confused now. She's like, oh no, which way do I turn? Which way do I turn? Which way do I turn? I want to show off the other thing. Plasma. Because why not? Which direction is the Tarpon? The Tarpon will be over here, and I'm going to spawn in the Toaster, which is probably my most successful plasma craft I've ever made so far. Here we go, flying purple toaster. There you go. Have at it, go. Because the great thing about plasma is that compact designs like the Tarpon are vulnerable to plasma. Ow, we got hit. And plasma shots are really damn fast, so even the Tarpon has trouble with them. You can see there, zap, 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 strength 10 shields, reducing the plasma damage, but still. And also, if you move fast enough... Oh, goodness. Oh, jeez. Ouch. If you move fast enough, the main guns do have trouble tracking you. They have trouble, they can still do it. Zap, 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 zap. So that's basically it. The Tarpon can seem like really formidable and can seem like almost an insurmountable obstacle sometimes, but just get anywhere but in front of her and hit her with lasers, hit her with the particle cannons, but basically go full sci-fi on her and you will be fine. So it's all good. And a massive thumbs up to Diesel because this thing is fantastic. It is a most worthy opponent. Ooh, you've lost your underbelly mask thing, which is probably a delicate part of your body. So anyway, that does it for this Most Wanted. Let me know if you've found fun ways of beating the Tarpon. And thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters. Please check out my other channel, links in the description, and I will see you next time in From the Depths Most Wanted. Farewell.